Can you clarify something? Like, what actually happened to you at the end of your bodybuilding career? Because I heard different rumors. You know, I heard there was some kind of deportation happened, or some kind of like incident happened. Like, what actually happened to you? What made you retire? And like, can you clarify that? Because I heard rumors, but I don't know actually know what.
Well, I mean, everybody retires, you know. At some point or another, we all have to retire. I think towards the end, I just didn't have that passion anymore. I didn't have that drive to want to go to the gym every day. You know, I find myself just making up excuses in my head to, you know, to not go to the gym. And you start getting older, and you know, you start having injuries, little injuries here, little nagging injuries there. Man, honestly, you just, after doing it from you're a 17-year-old kid, you lose in anything and everything in life has an expiry date. Yeah, you know, my time had come, and it was time for me to walk away. I made a little comeback, and the only reason I made a comeback was because Muscle Tech paid me a lot of money to do it. So, you know, it was a business decision to come back. It was great for me. It was good for them, but I walk away because it was time. It was time for me to walk away. I wasn't in love with it anymore. The guys who were coming up, like Dexter Jackson and so on, they were all, you know, snipping at the heels of, you know, old guys like myself, and it was time to step aside and let these young guys, you know, take their rightful place.
I understand. Now, after you retired, you started your own federation, correct? WBFF, correct? That's your federation.
Yeah.
Tell me about that, and why did you start that federation, and how are you making it different from other federations?
Well, I mean, you know, I wanted to start something that was different, something that was unique, and also to give another group of people an opportunity. You know, you have the IFBB, NPC, two amazing organizations. They're one of the same, but there was still a lot of competitors out there who they just can't fulfill. You can't be everything to everyone. So I think there was a gap that was needed to create something a little different, a little more unique, with a different twist. And that's why I started the WBFF, which is World Beauty, Fitness, and Fashion Inc. So it's incorporate. I've always been a lover of fashion. It's always been my thing, and I wanted to infuse fitness, beauty, and fashion all together. I wanted to put it all together to create something that's different, something that's unique. I wanted, you know, I wanted my stage to be more theatrical looking, not so much of a static look, which worked great for bodybuilding, but for me, wanting to be more entertainment, you know, and that's why, you know, people look at my stage, and when I first started, people say if I wanted to go to a rock concert, I'd go to a rock concert. But that's what I brought. That's the element I brought. I liked that look. I love production, you know, and it's like my passion went from bodybuilding over into production. You know, I create my own sets. You know, I program the looks, the lights that I want. You know, and infusing the whole fashion side of things. Fashion is so huge, and the things I like about bodybuilding, the things I didn't like about bodybuilding. I think bodybuilding is in the gym. Once we get out the gym, we don't have to look the same. You know, I wanted, when you walk outside, you know, to go out with your girl or your husband, your wife, I want it to look fashionable. I want, when you go to one of my shows, you know, you can't tell the difference if it's an Oscar event or a fitness event. You know, so I just wanted something unique, something different, and like I said, create opportunity for another group of people. There's so many competitors out there. There's tens of thousands of competitors. It's only so much opportunity one organization can give. So I said, why not create something else that give another group of people an opportunity? It's like going to the grocery store and there's a line with 100 people. There's still another 50 people Why go in the line with 100 people and make it 150? Why not go in the line that's open over there and get through faster? You know, and you know, in the beginning there was a lot of blowback from people saying, you know, how could I do that? I'm a sellout. I'm like, how am I a sellout? I'm a businessman. You know, I'm not, because you know I'm an IFBB pro, starting his own organization. I'm turning my back on the IFBB, and I'm like, how can I turn my back on the IFBB? It's because of that why I'm able to do what I'm doing. You know, I still have that's my legacy. We wouldn't be talking today if it wasn't because of the IFBB. You know, so I always explain to people. I said, no, don't get it twisted. I mean, I love Joe Weider. You know, myself and Jim Mannion, we still talk. I was texting him just today. You know, we still have a great friendship. I have so much respect and admiration for the man, but people don't understand that. He understands. He knows. You know, he'll be the first to tell you, no, Paul's organization is different. He's truly into modeling. He's really into fashion and the pageant stuff. We have no animosity towards each other. We have nothing but, you know, mutual respect for each other. My God, we go so far back, you know. I mean, but people who don't understand, they think it was a competition. It's no competition. IFBB has been around for 60 plus years. You know.
I mean, I'll be honest. I thought, you know, personally, there was some kind of fallout between you and FBB, just from what the rumors I heard. But obviously, you clarified it right now. Now I understand.
And no, that's the false narrative that people they spin, they put out, you know. But if people talk to me, they would say, well, no, Paul has nothing against IFBB. He has nothing bad to say. I've never said a bad word. You know, a lot of bad things have been said about me. But I can't say nothing bad about IFBB, NPC. No, you know, my good friend is still the CEO of the, you know, of the pro league. So absolutely not. You know, there's so many things about it that I question. You know, it's like in today's society, there's so much that's going on, and you know. The race card always comes up. People ask me, Paul, if you weren't a person of color, do you think you would have been treated differently? And that part, I would have to say yes. You know, as a man of color, doing what I'm doing, that's the thing that's in the fitness world that was never talked about. You know, like in my era, it wasn't, you know. Blacks didn't really go and grace the covers very often because we didn't sell covers, you know. We didn't get to promote shows. We didn't get, you know, you'd find maybe one or two black judges, you know. Everyone else was white, you know. I mean, and for me to own my own organization, it's not supposed to. I'm not supposed to do that, you know. I'm supposed to go on the stage, compete, you know, but I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed to start my own, and I'm like, I just went against all that. I mean, you know, it's what's so crazy about it is even you know, people of color was upset with me. You know, where you would think that they would say, okay, this is the first black man to actually go out there and actually is starting his own organization from scratch with no help from any sponsors, from anyone. So I'm just doing it all by myself, and I have good intentions. You know, as a former competitor, I know what these guys and girls go through. So I want to create a great platform for them, and I don't want to mistreat anyone, don't want to take advantage of anyone. And regardless if I like you as a person or not, when you step up on that stage, I don't see you as that. I just see you as a competitor. And if you're the best person on that day, so be it. And just, I've always been the person who've always tried to create opportunities for other guys, you know, when I was competing. You know, Chris Cormier will be one of the guys that will tell you, absolutely, Paul was the one who brought me to Joe Weider. Flex Wheeler would say the same thing The first time I met Joe Weider, Paul Dillett brought me to him. So I've
Did you
always
know did you know Joe Weider well?
very well, very well.
I was going to ask you a question because you brought up the race, right? I was going to ask you a question. So I interviewed Robby Robinson. You know Robby Robinson?
Oh, very well, yes.
So I interviewed Robby Robinson, and he told me, in the '70s when he met Joe Weider, he found out that Joe was extremely racist. Then I interviewed Kevin Levrone, and he said it's not true. Joe is not racist. Do you have a opinion on that?
I have nothing but love for Joe. For me, Joe was so good to me. Listen, I was so fortunate when I came to California. Within 3 weeks of being in California, I met Joe. I had a contract. I had a contract before I was a pro, So without Joe Weider, I would have never made it in bodybuilding. I don't know what I would have been doing. So I would never ever say one bad word about Joe. I would always praise him and, respect his memory. And I'm not Robby Robinson, so I can't speak for him in what happened in the 70s. The Joe Weider that I met, you know, in the 90s is who made Paul Dillett what he became as a bodybuilder, and even he's responsible for what I'm doing today.